Right. Hello all. Now we'll discuss the another keyword that is mentioned in the preamble, that is republic. So what is the meaning of republic? India is called as a republic. What does it mean? Okay. So generally a democratic polity, we discussed this word democracy or democratic in the previous video. Okay. Right. So a democratic polity can be classified into two categories. One is monarchy and a republic. Okay. Then what is monarchy? Monarchy means the head of the state, usually king or queen, enjoys a hereditary position, meaning the office of the head of the state is hereditary. Okay. It is not given through elections. Okay. So he comes into office through succession. Example for monarchy is Britain. Okay. The head of the state in Britain is through succession or is hereditary, right? Then in a republic, on the other hand, it is quite opposite. The head of the state is always elected directly or indirectly for a fixed period. So example, USA and India. In India, the head of the state is a president and he is elected indirectly. Whereas in USA, the head of the state is president and of course he is head of the government as well. He is elected directly. Okay, that's why India is a republic as well as USA is also called as a republic. We cannot call Britain as a republic because the head of the state is hereditary. He is not elected directly or indirectly by the people. Okay. Therefore, the term republic in our preamble indicates that India has an elected head. India has an elected head called the president. Okay. So he is elected indirectly for a fixed period of 5 years. Okay. And the word republic also means two more things. What are they? Number one, vesting of political sovereignty in the people and not in a single individual like a king. Meaning in India, the political sovereignty is with the people. In other words, people have the right to elect their leaders. Am I clear? Whereas the country like Britain, the political sovereignty is in the hands of a single individual like king. Okay. Am I clear? So the word republic indicates two more things. One is, before this I have mentioned the meaning of republic. Republic means the head of the state is elected directly or indirectly by the people. So other two meanings of republic is political sovereignty or the political power is with the people. Am I clear? Then the second meaning, the another meaning of republic is the absence of any privileged class. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of absence of privileged class? Meaning all the public offices are opened to every citizen without any discrimination. So this is the meaning of absence of any privileged class. Okay. So let me summarize the meaning of republic. So republic means a country is called as a republic or a state is called as a republic when the head of the state is elected directly or indirectly by the people. And also another meanings of the republic are the political sovereignty is with the people instead of with a single person. And also absence of privileged class, meaning all the political offices are opened to all the citizens without any discrimination. Am I clear? So this is the comprehensive meaning of republic as per the Indian Constitution. Okay. Then the next key term is justice. So the term justice in the preamble embraces three distinct forms. Meaning, as I said earlier, the word democratic represents three things: political democracy, social democracy and economic democracy. In the same way, the word justice indicates three things. One is social justice, economic justice and political justice. Okay. Now we will try to define the meaning of social justice, political justice and economic justice. Right. See, first of all, what is justice? Justice means giving everyone their due is called justice. In simple words, justice means fair treatment. Justice means non-partisan treatment. Justice means giving everyone their due is called as justice. Okay. So the word justice in the preamble of the Constitution indicates three things: social justice, economic justice and political justice. Now we will see how political justice is ensured in India. Okay. If you look at the fundamental rights, the provisions in the fundamental rights as well as the directive principles ensures political, social and economic justice. Am I clear? Fundamental rights, the main objective of the fundamental rights are to ensure the political justice. Am I clear? For example, equality before law and the 6 freedoms mentioned in Article 19 and Article 21. All these articles ensures the political freedom. Okay. Example, freedom of speech and expression. Article 19 clause 1 ensures political freedom. Formation of associations under Article 19 ensures political freedom. See, political freedom is nothing but, or political justice is nothing but enabling all the people to contest in the elections, enabling them to participate in decision making process. All these aspects come under political freedom or political justice. Am I clear? Next, social justice. See, social justice means equal treatment of all citizens without any social distinction based on caste, color, race, religion, gender and so on. Okay. So it means absence of privileges to any particular section of the society. Okay. However, some special provisions can be made to the certain sections of the society. They are backward classes like scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and other backward classes and women. Okay. Except these people, remaining all people are treated equally. Equal treatment is given for them because these sections of the society have been facing discrimination since ages. Therefore, only these sections of the society have been given special provisions to ensure social justice in order to create a level playing field. Okay. So, best example for social justice is Article 15 and Article 16. Article 15 and Article 16 ensures reservations for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes in educational institutions and government employment. Yes or no? Right. Next one is economic justice. So economic justice denotes the non-discrimination between the people on the basis of economic factors. Yes or no? The main objective of economic justice is to ensure elimination of glaring inequalities, rising inequalities in wealth, income and property. For example, if you look at the preamble, equality of status and of opportunity, these two ensures the economic justice in India. Okay. So the combination of social justice and economic justice is known as distributive justice. Okay. So please try to remember all these definitions. So the combination of this social justice and economic justice is called as distributive justice. So our constitution ensures distributive justice. Then what is political justice? See, political, as I discussed at the outset of this lecture itself, political justice or political freedom means all the citizens should have equal political rights and equal access to all political offices and equal voice in the government. That is freedom of speech, etc. Right? So the ideal of justice, that is a social, economic and political, has been taken from the Russian Revolution 1917. Am I clear? So the ideal of justice, that is social, economic and political justice, has been taken from the Russian Revolution, okay, which took place in 1917. So we implement what type of justice? Distributive justice. Distributive justice means it is a combination of social justice and economic justice. So justice means distribution of resources in a fair manner, treating people in a fair manner, or giving everyone their due is called as justice, right? And the next key term is liberty. So I will discuss this key term in the next video. Okay, thank you.